Hello everyone, my name is Erin Elizabeth Warenberg. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Today I'm going to be talking about support. So I've made a video in the past about what does support look like, where can I get some, but today I want to talk about external support and what happens when we feel like we're supporting someone in our lives but it feels bad or it doesn't feel like it's serving us. Or, support is supposed to feel good if we're serving and loving people around us, people we care about, people at work, whatever. It's supposed to feel good. It should feel like full, and not in like a selfish way, but it should feel good, high vibrational. So if that's not happening for you, it's probably one of these three things that I'm going to be talking about in the video. So the first is if you're coming from a place of needing to be needed. This is a very, very ego-serving way of love and validation. So if you are someone who feels like you love supporting other people because you need to be needed by other people, and this is especially common if you were socialized or raised as a woman in Western society or anywhere in the world, pretty much, if you feel like you need to be needed. So this means that, you love that someone thinks of you when they're having a hard time to talk, or you really appreciate that someone connects with you, and the way you get validation from your worth is if people need you for something, not that your presence and who you are as a person by itself is enough in and of itself. So there's a difference between wanting to do something for someone and feeling like, oh my god, I'm so glad they called me or thought of me, but there's also a layer that's not healthy, is if you need to be needed. And so that's where you can use a little discernment with yourself, like ask yourself, am I doing this because I'm honored that this person is sharing with me, or am I doing this because I need to be needed at all times by people to prove my worth to myself? So that's reason number one. Reason number two why supporting someone can feel bad is if there's an unequal energy exchange. So everything in the universe is energy, we know this. And so if you are supporting someone but there's not an equal energy exchange back, then it's going to feel off. The vibration's going to feel off, you're going to feel it in your body, it's going to feel weird. And it doesn't have to be the same type of energy that's exchanging. For example, if you are supporting someone on a phone call or whatever, I don't know, and they talk for 3 hours about themselves, and you listen and you support them, whatever, and you don't get any of that back returned to you, that's going to feel unequal. Now, a way to make that work, if that's what you want, is if you were charging someone on the phone to talk to you, like if you were a coach or if you go see a therapist or something like this, because there's money being exchanged there, right? Or if you talk to someone on the phone and you support them and they say, oh, I'll make you a painting, or I'll give you a massage, or I'll buy you dinner, or whatever. So that's an equal energy exchange because something's getting shifted. But if there's no equal exchange and you're just supporting someone, showing up for them consistently, but there's nothing in return, then that's how it can feel off or feel bad within yourself. And then the third reason why supporting someone might feel bad, and this kind of connects to point number two a little bit, is if it's at the expense of you. So no one else's growth should ever come at the expense of you. No one's support or showing you care about someone should ever come at the expense of you. So you should be able to say, no, I can't show up for you like that right now. And whoever you're supporting should be able to understand that. Now, obviously, it shouldn't be like, no, I can't do anything for you ever, if it's a relationship that you feel invested in. And obviously there's different ways that this manifests. If it's a work relationship, if you made a commitment to this person in a certain way, whatever. But if there's someone who just, you know what I'm talking about here, a relationship that just like takes and takes and takes and takes, or oversteps your boundaries, or does too much, or makes you feel so bad, or just like leaves you so low vibrational, that's usually a relationship that's at the expense of you. And that's why, of course, supporting them can feel bad. And because there's so much hidden abuse in Western society as dominant narratives, then this can come as like pretty normal, right? It can be, this kind of again ties back into point number one and number two, but a need to be needed is usually taught to us because it's at the expense of ourselves, because we're not taught to love ourselves super deeply. So if you have a relationship and you feel like you're supporting them, but it's kind of not going well, then I would suggest you check in with any of these 3 things. And again, that's a need to be needed, an unequal energy exchange, or at the expense of you. Do some reevaluating, set some boundaries, practice saying no, etc., etc. Think about a healthy relationship you have, one that feels good, and see how those 2 compare to each other. So that's it. Let me know in the comments below if this resonated with any of you and what you plan to do to reset your boundaries. If you ever want to connect with me at any time, you can always go to www.erin-elizabeth.com. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you soon. Bye.